Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is time for Stratosphere 152. You guys know the drill by now. I'm Lyra. I'm here to discuss the matches, and we are going to work on getting our first match to y'all. Yeah, enjoy this beautiful picture of Zuko. I love him so much. Isn't he great? Amazing. 10 out of 10. Sketch, yeah, you love Zuko. How can you not at this point? He's just such a good boy. Except for the fact that he sprints around the apartment at 3 a.m. screaming. That's like his least favorite quality, my least favorite quality of his. Cat's commentating, yeah. Cat's on the comms, Cat's on the mic. He's gonna do a great job. Yeah. So we will work on getting that first matchup screen. There it is. We have Effie versus Flower Petal. Okay, this is it's a smaller bracket today. You can see the bracket over on the side here. But oh, we got the prediction going. You can predict with your channel points over there. We're just asking players right now if they would like a warm-up. And we can see Effie is favored here pretty heavily in the APM and PPS department. So tough matchup here for Flower Petal, but I'm sure she's going to do the best job that she can. I believe in her. People not voting for Flower will get banned. So true. It's a honeypot right up there. Wow, love it when both players say that they do not care if there's a warm-up. Yeah, what do you even do there? Sketched already being given difficult tasks this early in the morning. You can't gamble. Oh, if you if you gamble, I'm sure Sketched or I can close out the poll, because you just have to make sure that the person who closes it did not vote. So you can gamble. Alright, it seems like we are not going for a warm-up here. Alright, and PCO stack from both sides here, as Effie is starting off with a faster beginning here. It's kind of what we expected looking at this matchup screen. Effie is building up that back-to-back and counting to 4 really well. Flower Petal up at the top is going to be on this down stack right now, gets the eye piece in time, opens up that well, doing a great job surviving right now. Flower Petal definitely thinking about these moves, and Effie with the 21 spike is going to find the first round in this first 2-11. Both players going towards that LST. Flower Petal kind of taking a more traditional stance. Well, I guess that's not an LST on Effie's side because that's a 6-3, but it was a similar opening anyways. Flower Petal thinking about these all spins for that back-to-back. Flower Petal breaks and has a small spike, but that doesn't really phase Effie, who's continuing to build up that back-to-back. Breaks with the 31 spike and even has some follow-up there. That speed definitely benefiting Effie here. A little bit of blonking to start us out. Flower Petal just going for the defensive stance here, not really building up that back-to-back, just trying to stack through this garbage right now, hoping that she can get a spike. Effie is continuing to build up this back-to-back, though. There's that ding that's starting to come through. Flower Petal keeping that well open. There's the eyepiece, there's the T-spin, and that's what she needs to stay alive. Flower Petal on the down stack here. Getting the efficiency with that quad. Kind of going for some very defensive play right now. Effie with the 28 spike is a rough one to deal with there. Not much you can do against that very fast 28 spike. We see a stick spin like opener from Effie, who gets that back-to-back going first. Flower Petal also has that back-to-back, breaks it quickly, maybe going for a little bit of a cheese strat here, but it's not really affecting Effie as much as I'm guessing Flower Petal would have hoped. Flower Petal setting up this STSD, just going to Z spin it out. Makes sense there, but this board does not look good. Not in a good spot to receive that 28 spike, so that is going to be the round for Effie as Flower Petal gets banished to the Shadow Realm up at the top of the board. PCO stack on both sides. Really nice setup for all spins there. It's an interesting use of the Season 2 rule set. It's just kind of like the return of PCO. Flower Petal stays alive here, but that well is not looking good. That is covered with a minus 13 on the board. If Effie notices that it's a bad time for Flower Petal, then he can just break, but does not need to break even at all as Effie continues on this sweep. Flower Petal getting that color clear, not quite getting that PC. Effie just upstacking with these T-spins right now, getting that back-to-back going early. But Flower Petal with some early pressure is going to slow Effie down and force them to break up at the top of the board. And this isn't looking great right now for Effie. That board is not very clean. There's the down stack though, there's the eyepiece. The well is still covered, but Flower Petal isn't able to find enough pressure. Effie gets down to the bottom, but there's no eyepiece, there's no spins. And Flower Petal finds a point. That, forcing the early break there really worked out for Flower Petal. That's probably what she's been trying to do this whole time with just down stacking through the garbage. Effie's been setting a lot of clean garbage, so Flower Petal recognized that her win condition is to get through that garbage and use it to her advantage. So very nice find there, and it's going to be tough to continue that though, especially with that 39 spike. There's a color clear there for Flower Petal if she wants it, but decides to just give up the round instead. TKI versus some stick spin over here. Couple of floating T-spins on Effie's board. Many floating T-spins. So many. Nice little... That's not a C-spin at all. That's okay. My eyes saw C-spin for a second, but it was one line off, and Effie does not even get to use all of it. More stick spinning versus PCO stack. Flower Petal taking a moment to think about how she wants to set this up here, and that's a very lucky garbage well there from Flower Petal. That is nice. Flower Petal building up that back-to-back as Effie is failing this S-spin right here. That's a tough one. That's honestly very validating for me because I also have trouble with that spin. That one is not what it seems like it should be, and I'm glad that somebody else has that issue besides me. A little bit of plonk TKI action. Flower Petal finds the PC, goes for the PCO afterwards. Didn't find what she was looking for, and is just going to downstack this. Nice combo downstack from Flower Petal, but Effie is going to cancel the majority of that, leaving them with a pretty clean board. Effie is forced to break right here and get on this downstack right now, but there's a couple of walls of garbage that they have access to. Flower Petal pressuring though, finding a really nice timing with this. But look at Effie with these T-spins built up at the top, kind of being non-relenting there as, yeah, I was going to say, your board's not really in a great spot. This is a little bit greedy, and we can see that I didn't even get the chance to say that before the greed killed Effie, and more TKIs come through. Some LST from Effie. Flower Petal dealing with this garbage as it's incoming. And speaking of greed, speaking of floating T-spins, that's another point for Flower Petal. TKIs on both sides to start us off again. Effie brings this into that STSD setup into a 3-6 like we saw him do earlier. Some all spins for Effie, very quick all spins, and the early break, and there is a spike. Yeah, just a little bit too strong of a spike for Flower Petal to handle. That was definitely one of those spikes where you thought it was over and it kept going, and all of a sudden you're at the top of the board and you can do nothing because you thought you were safe. Stick spin versus PCO stack. Effie finding the PC on that. If that was SDPC, that's not a common opener. You don't really see that one anymore, so I guess that's why I didn't recognize it. Oh, and the misdrop from Flower Petal on that J piece is so sad. There's no way to spend that I piece in there. Big rip as FEE brings us 2 points away from victory. Nice well there for Effie. Flower Petal is on the attack here. Gets that back-to-back going first. And has a really nice counter 4 for this well. Or rather counter 2 with the T-spin, the open right there. But Effie is greeting, has the well covered with the quad donation. Flower Petal breaks with the 15 spike, and Effie is up at the top, has to break in their own 15 spike, but they don't have well access. Yeah, that, it's not going to save you there. You got to kind of have well access after you break. Otherwise, your opponent can just kind of tank and send. But here come the TKIs again. Effie with some all spins in the center of the board here. Nice S spin in that center well, but there's the 31 spike. Flower Petal had that well covered and could not uncover it. Starting off with TKIs yet again. Ooh, Flower Petal misdropping that rotate there for the all spin is going to end it. Effie notices the lack of damage incoming, maybe a little bit of screen watching moment, and Effie wins it. I mean, very well fought by Flower Petal there. Very well played. There was a lot of macro play in there too, of just kind of recognizing that when you're at the speed disadvantage and the APM disadvantage, then you kind of have to find a different way to win, of just, you know, sometimes it's waiting for your opponent to mess up. Sometimes it's a well-timed spike. Like, you never know. Sometimes it's lucky. Sometimes it's a lucky spike. But very well played by Flower Petal there. And Flower Petal is going to go down into the lower bracket. And Effie's going to continue on. Yeah. And this is our entire bracket here for you. We are going to stay on board with the rest of it. And from what I can see, it looks like we are going to stay with winner's side. Yeah. PCO versus Big Macintosh. C2 versus C3, theoretically a close matchup, but we can see, I guess the APM gap isn't that significant. The PPS gap isn't that significant either. Yeah, this could definitely be a really exciting one. Obviously, PCO having the advantage there, but definitely doable for Macintosh here. And it looks like both of our players are in the lobby, so we will get that ready to go soon. All right, let's see if these players want a warm-up here. If they will even respond in the chat, who knows? Okay, looks like no warm-up for it. Asking our players if they are ready here. And it looks like we are exchanging our GLHFs and ready to go. PCO starting this off with a lot of all spins here, going a little bit slower than their opponent. PCO decides to break it here and ends up with that -8 on their board. PCO having some all spins here, trying to get this back, and there is the back-to-back going again. And Macintosh breaks with the 20 spike. PCO almost has an out here, but not quite. First point to Macintosh. PCO going for more all spins here as this opener. Seems like there may have been a misdrop in there with the way that they hesitated, but this opener, if we're doing it that slowly, I don't think it's necessarily the greatest, but what do I know? Because it just worked. It just worked out. The all spins work out, and PCO gets the point. TKI versus, I'm just gonna call that all spins machine. I feel like there are a lot of openers that fit the title of all spin machine, but that one is you know, it's an interesting one. I like it. Macintosh going more for T-spins here than PCO is. PCO breaks and sees that -11 on the board. Macintosh doesn't have well access and has to break in order to get it. Players exchange their follow-up spikes, but end up in a relatively similar position. Misdrop there from Macintosh is going to give a T-spin. Oh, and then we're setting up a DT. I do love the nice little DTC spin on the side here from Macintosh, and that's a beautiful spike with that setup, but PCO has the board to handle this, taking their time to find some all spins right here, and that's a really clean find. I love that all spins find, and they do live with that. Wow, that was some good survival there from some nice timing. A little bit of luck in those pieces there, but now Big Macintosh is up at the top, and that board is not looking good. Looks like some all spin shenanigans up at the top. That or a misdrop. I was watching PCO's survival there. I'm not gonna lie, my eyes were kind of locked in on that. PCO's all spin machine not going to plan. Big Macintosh is getting their all spins going. PCO trying to build back up that back-to-back. Love the overhangless S-spin setup there. And Big Macintosh breaks with the 22 spike. That's going to put PCO up the top, force them to break. PCO stays alive for now. There's the T piece. Ooh, this is not quite there. Almost. Took a moment to think about it. Almost found an out there, but not quite. More all spinning going on in this early game. And I mean, it's really working out well for PCO. I mean, just look at how much back-to-back they're able to build that quickly. One of the untracked metrics, I would say, is back-to-back per second, just like the rate at which you're building back-to-back. And PCO definitely doing a good job in that category. Macintosh anticipating the break and accepting it is insane, but it works. PCO up at the top, comboing down just a little bit, finding the all-spins along the way. That's a really nice all-spin find to keep that going. Macintosh breaks, PCO breaks. We end up at about the same spot. Misdrop from Macintosh there, not looking good. They're gonna have to fix this. There's the -8 on the board. There's the speed up right now as the burst speed comes through. There's the all spins on the way down. PCO doesn't really take advantage of the situation as well as they could. Getting some more all spins going and breaking with a 17. That's gonna put Macintosh up at the top. Doesn't have the pieces to get out. Q just did not favor them living. Interesting change here, going for an SDPC spin on this opener. Ooh, Macintosh with that misdrop there, that is going to slow them down and get that -9 to appear on their board as they break. PCO is going to continue with this here. It's always interesting. Oh, the eye spin there is sick. I love that. I feel like I'm learning by watching this. There's that 19, and there's the break right there. That's going to send a bit over onto Macintosh's side, but they do stay alive. And there's a nice spike from Macintosh and the eye spin to follow that up. Both players looking to build up that back-to-back right now and continue to do so. PCO breaks, and that kind of almost catches Macintosh off guard, but they have the board ready to go. Ooh, that was almost a really good down stack from Macintosh, but PCO finds the point. PCO finding that early back-to-back yet again. And those all spins are also coming in to Macintosh's board as just pure cheese. Look at that board. Oh my gosh. I guess that's what the all spins machine is supposed to do, is it's supposed to cheese up your opponent's board and it's supposed to give you that early back-to-back. I mean, yeah, sure. There's the dings for the 20 back-to-back, and then it comes through with the 41 spike. Not much you can do against that there if you don't have your board very ready for the damage coming in. PCO's TKI there, just like, it looks like it's a misdrop TKI, and I have to remind myself every single time that that is not a misdrop. Nice all spins there from Macintosh. PCO just all spinning at the bottom though, keeping that back-to-back building up here. Couple of T-spins ready to go. Cancels everything coming in expertly, but there's a hole in the board. There's the fix for it. Love that. Macintosh is up at the top with that -23 looming and did not have well access. And we're starting off yet again. PCO getting that early back-to-back again. But Macintosh is keeping up here. That back-to-back also is ticking up quickly. Ooh, Macintosh has to break and cover the well. Not ideal. That T-spin is insane. That almost worked. What? That was sick. All right, we're gonna see the SDPC spin come out again. Yes. Oh, it's a variant on SDPC spin because there's an all spin in the middle of it. Oh, that's sick. Did not notice that before. Macintosh up at the top, has to break right here, sees that -12 and sees that I dependency with no I piece in queue. Not great. And that O piece is just one piece too late, but very well timed by PCO. Probably a little bit of screen watching there, realizing that Macintosh was not in a good spot. And a nice find. A little bit of LST here from PCO, as Macintosh does have a misdrop. Going to try to recover this here with some donations along the way. That's a little bold, a little greedy there, but it works out. PCO up at the top, getting those all spins on the way down. Really clean setups right now. Macintosh with the overhang list there, trying to fight off that -8 that keeps appearing at the top of the screen. But PCO has fast back-to-back build-up. And I was going to say a lot of garbage on that board. And Macintosh stays alive. There's the survival. The all spins on the way down. Very clean there. But PCO is going to have to find a little bit more here if they want the kill. There comes that back-to-back, trying to build that up yet again. Break. Yeah, both these players have some messy garbage coming in. It's not the most conducive to them trying to build up that back-to-back. They're finding some really creative ways to downstack this here, but yeah, just like Macintosh did there, sometimes you just gotta rip it. Sometimes you can't find those all spins, sometimes you just gotta downstack it. There's that -8 up top of Macintosh's board as PCO is eye spinning over there. Getting a Z spin ready to go. This is a little slow in comparison to what we've seen before. PCO breaks, they're up at the top. There's that next well. There's the eye piece to get into it, but Macintosh is continuing to pressure. PCO gets into that next well though, and it seems like Macintosh will have missed their window. And yeah, a little bit of a misdrop there from Macintosh. You can see PCO with a little bit of interesting stacking going on here. This is like unironically interesting. Not saying that like condescendingly. It's genuinely interesting what's going on, I promise. Is that it? Okay. Okay. Okay, I see you. I see you. That was sick. Yo, what? I love that kind of setup so much. PCO with some misdrops to start us off here. Let the all spins come through. Macintosh with that advantage on the back-to-back side of things here. Trying to figure out how to continue that, but PCO's catching up. Getting those all spins ready to go. Macintosh breaks and sees the -13 on the board. PCO breaks as well, bringing us back to about even. Macintosh with some holes in the board is just going to combo down stack this year. Nice sequence from PCO there. Honestly, such a pretty sequence, and has some all spins to finish it up. Macintosh has the well covered, but they get into it. The T-spin at the top of the board there is so greedy. And this, oh my, what are... Okay, interesting, interesting. I'm interested to see how this goes. Okay, alive, they're living, they're fine. But the 33 spike gets them, and that's going to be match point for PCO. PCO stack, getting that I spin ready to go. And then some SDPC spin here. All spins getting fired off, sending that back to back. PCO breaks first. Macintosh breaks second. Both players with some not super clean garbage. As PCO finds that back to back and builds it up. A little bit of greed here from PCO up the top of the board, getting these all spins in. Macintosh trying to spam out that attack and successfully does so as PCO has nowhere to put those pieces. And Macintosh is not going down without a fight here. Nice cut copy opener there from Macintosh. They do break though, and see that -7 appear on the board. PCO with some more all spins going on. The 24 spike from Macintosh forces PCO to break. PCO all spinning up the top of the board again, and yeah, I was gonna say that's a little greedy. Little greedy, just a little bit. LST here from PCO, but they misdrop that Z piece, which is going to slow him down. Trying to get all spins to clean this up, but Big Macintosh is spamming out attack. 150 APM. 150 APM on that round there from Macintosh. TKIs to start us off. PCO, what is your plan? What's your plan? I mean, sure, okay, yeah, you know what, sure, okay, I guess that works if you, yep. Definitely could not make that work if I tried, but there it goes. I'm just very invested to see if PCO lives this. Okay, there's the eyepiece, there's the out. Sure, okay, continue. The dono, okay. Sure. The all spins come out, and okay, PCO got out of that. Up at the top here, has to break. Finds the efficient downstack, and Macintosh is up at the top of the board. Not looking great. The color clear on the way down. It's clean. Just trying to stride this out right now. But that -8 appears. T-spin triple comes through though. I spin into J spin. Looking very nice. But that well is not looking nice. And that is game. PCO takes that there, but whew, hard fought, and some very interesting all spins along the way. And there we go. Back to our bracket here. I would assume that we're going to jump down into lowers to give our players a break, and considering they left the room, I'm guessing that is going to be the case. Alright, this is our U-rank match here. We have Built Like a Rat versus Veggie. Very close in TR, as you guys can see. Oh, and it looks like we're getting another prediction going for you guys. We can see Built Like a Rat, definitely the faster player. Veggie, the more efficient player. This should be interesting. Looks like we're gonna have a warm-up. Alright, warm-up starting now. Interesting opener from Veggie, whereas Rat is just going for this up stack. You can definitely see the efficiency plays coming out from Veggie here with some interesting spins down at the bottom. Taking her time to think. Ooh, not looking good for Veggie, who was trying to get that piece over. Veggie up at the top. Built like a rat takes that warm-up. Players exchanging GLHFs. And we're off. We see Veggie starting with that same all-spin opener. And Built Like a Rat is definitely going the opposite strategy of just kind of Korean stacking right now. Ooh, and a misdrop from Rat is not going to be good as that -8 appears on the board. There's a nice T-spin to clean that up there. Veggie breaks with the 16 spike. That's going to put Rat up at the top, but Veggie needs to find more of a follow-up attack here. Not quite finding it. Rat's board's still not great, but there's the out and there's the eyepiece. Veggie gets that back-to-back going again right as Rat has that stack. That is a rough board. That cheese, even if Rat had survived that, not looking good. Yeah, this is extended SDPC spin. Going to get that early back-to-back, and there's that 23 spike from it. Veggie up at the top, trying to deal with the aftermath of this spike, and there are not the right pieces in that queue to survive. You see Veggie doing the reverse of whatever opener that is. I love the T-spin triple at the end of it, too. Built Like a Rat not even bothering to build up that back-to-back at all, and a misdrop definitely doesn't help. That's going to put them up at the top. They're J-dependent, or sorry, L-dependent, and they didn't have it. SDPC spin from Built Like a Rat. And she finds the all clear follow-up there. Another all clear right there. And Veggie's just all spinning over here. Veggie needs to get that well access soon. There it is. Oh, interesting. Don't know if that was quite a misdrop there from Veggie, but does not matter because Rat finds the pressure that she needs to win that round. A little bit of DT cannon here. I'm trying to figure out what kind of follow-up. Just going for a T-spin follow-up right there for Rat. And Veggie continuing on with that T-spin triple, finding the point here. Efficiency wins that round. Do see extended going wrong over there on Rat's board. Veggie's stack looking a little bit uneven, but she's getting things under control and gets into that well. Rat down at the bottom. She has the back-to-back going. Getting into that clean well right now. Not looking good for Veggie if Rat continues on like this. And there's the break. Veggie with the O piece at the top of the board is not looking great, and the I piece does not come in time. Unfortunate sequence, and just bad luck overall there for Veggie. More DT cannon as Veggie's all spin shenanigans as an opener. She's gonna need to get out of this quickly, and there's the T-spin triple to get out, and there's the Z-spin, but that board is not clean. That board is not clean. That dog don't hunt. That's not looking good for Veggie right now, but Rat also has some messy garbage. She gets through it pretty well. Veggie, again, not looking great. There's the pieces to get out, but that T piece does not come in time. That well is not open for that I piece, and so that round goes to Built Like a Rat. I want to know what the name of this opener is. It's like psychotic in the best way. But Veggie misdrops it, so she's going to be on the back foot here, and she's going to give Rat a chance to all spin this out here. That's a nice T-spin setup with that S-spin. There's the S-spin to continue on. Rat breaks it with the 10 spike. That's going to put Veggie up the top. Yeah, Veggie doesn't really have the pieces that she needs. There's a couple of them, but the rest of the queue, is it going to be there in time? And it is not. Point for Rat. SDPC spin. Okay. I was kind of watching all spin shenanigans. But looks like Rat just greeted a bit there. LST from Rat. Misrotating that T-piece, also breaking back-to-back here. Veggie is in charge of the back-to-back for now, looking for those all-spin setups, and yeah, that's... Okay, she breaks. Good call there. Good break. And she's going to continue on the down stack right now, as Rat has this 5-4 stack in the middle of the board. She gets into that 2-7 well, and Veggie's well is blocked off. Not looking great here. Not quite finding the pieces. There they are, but Rat finds the pressure, bringing this a point closer to that win. Okay, that's okay. Sure. That's one way to open, is with a fin like that. Don't really know what's going on with the rest of this. It looks a little psychotic. I was gonna say that you can't really turn that into an imp cross. That just straight up, that whole thing just does not work. Not quite. That doesn't work. And the SDPC spin comes back out. Veggie gets rid of that opener before going for that C-spin, or rather T-spin triple follow-up. Ooh, just barely surviving, but look at that board. Not clean. There's the combo down stack, and that pushes Rat up to the top with some pretty messy cheese on her board. The S-spin to continue this on looks nice. Veggie's trying to build up that back-to-back, but oh boy, the pressure's coming in. There's the T-spin from Veggie. Rat, what are you doing with your board? I guess it works. Okay, that doesn't work. Nope, that one does not work. And we're all tied up. Fastest caster cursed in the West as Rat misdrops her SDPC spin. I was wondering if Rat was going to 4 wide right there, but guess not. Don't really know what Rat's doing here. Not gonna lie. Ooh, that T misdrop is not going to help, but there's a spin to fix that. Good job. You found it. Okay, cool. So as we continue on, Veggie's going a little bit slower here. Look at those all spins. That is clean. Nice little combo down stack from Veggie, but Rat is building up that 3-6 up stack on top of that garbage right now. Okay. Little bit of well coverage from Rat here. She gets into it. Veggie with some all spins. Okay. Pushes Rat up to the top and gets the kill. Nice. SDPC spin here versus TKI. No more all spin shenanigans for Veggie for the opener. Well, there's the all spins that come through. Rather just not that that same set of all spin shenanigans. Veggie with the down stack here. That is not looking good. Yeah, you gotta all spin that, girl. And ooh, not quite. Veggie one piece away. And we're tied up. Veggie going for the all spin machine again, as Rat is just going for this LST. They do have to break because of a misdrop. And Veggie sends with the 14 spike. Rat up at the top. There's some of the pieces to get out. Where's the next eye piece? It's not there. The T piece to stay alive is though, but that well is covered. And Veggie finds the kill. Very nice follow-up pressure there from Veggie. Definitely did not want to give Rat any extra time there because we all know she would have gotten that down stack and it would have been devastating. And she misdrops. Sad start to the round there for Rat, but Veggie continuing on with this opener. Veggie breaks right there. She got really far into that opener sequence that time. Nice, nice. Veggie does not even need the second quad there. She thought about that for a bit. And then Rat misdrops the SDPC spin. Just goes into a 6-3 up stack instead. Veggie's just going with these all spins right now, looking for more. And Rat's board is messy. It's not looking good. And Veggie's on match point. What a comeback. But it's not over yet. The bell has not rung, but Built Like a Rat has the misdrop on the opener, and that's not looking good. Where's the eyepiece in the queue when you need it? There it is, and Rat stays alive here. Veggie up at the top, has the back-to-back, but needs to break it right now. There's the break, and the J piece is just one too far in the queue, and Rat stays alive. The all spins machine. The extended SDPC spin. Okay, they're not extending it. Okay, okay. I thought she was going to. There's the STSD there from Rat. And Veggie setting off the all spins in whatever this opener thing is. And Built Like a Rat with the 18 spike. Staying alive, trying to claw this back one round at a time. This is not first to 11 plus 2. This is straight up first to 11. No deuce here. As Veggie was typing in the match chat. That's why she was slow on the start of that round. Veggie building up this 5-4 stack where Rat is just kind of Korean stacking down at the bottom here. Omni spin, is that what it's called? It's scary, whatever it is. All right, Veggie finds that well. The pieces aren't exactly agreeing with her, though. She forces the pieces to agree, though. She looks at the pieces and she's like, you are going to work, and she makes them work. Rat's board does not look good as they were trying to set up a TST tower. And Veggie finds the win, the U-rank match. Veggie comes out on top. I had a fun time commentating that. If you guys couldn't tell, I had an amazing time doing that. I love it when the players give me time to think in the middle of the match. I love that. Very nice storyline. It's called Omnispin. Yeah. It's fun. I like it. It's neat. Like, I would not do it with that much confidence because I am never confident on my openers, but it worked out really well there for Veggie. She says, I'm on the Omnispin wiki page as a pioneer. That's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah, it looks like a very extended opener. Me and my old people memory, which is like made worse by head injury, I cannot memorize openers that are that long. No. Like, I tried to learn the like PC follow-up on DT Cannon and I couldn't do it, you know? All right. Old version. I didn't know there were multiple versions. Wolf Moon Cannon. What are we naming our openers these days? What? Who's naming these? Wolf Moon Cannon? I'm sorry. Like, I believe you, but that sounds fake. Like, I fully 100% believe you, but you can't like say that without expecting me to laugh a little bit. Was the one with the fin at the beginning? I figured. All right. Macintosh versus Tizago. This is our next match. I'm sorry. I was just there was a lot to take in there. All right, and we're off. TD opener here. A little bit more standard than what we saw last time. I expect to see Tizago with a lot of opener gaming. I feel like she knows a lot of openers. And she knows how to go fast and do whatever that was and get the point. Wolfman is like the most unserious opener name I've ever seen. All right. Tizago building up that back-to-back early, but Macintosh has the back-to-back as well. That board's not looking great for Macintosh there. They're going to try to build this back-to-back up yet again as Tizago's starting to run away with it. Tizago's board not looking great. Yeah, those are the all spins to fix it. And we're going for the... Wait, are you... Okay, that's insane. That's like one of the most insane STSDs I've ever seen. Impressive there, Tizago. Sometimes greed wins. Sometimes greed works. Cancel her, me? Over me laughing at the name of an opener? I could be doing so much worse up here, and you guys know it. All right. Macintosh breaks back-to-back first. Tizago continues on with it as she's up at the top of the board. Oh, they're canceling you? Sorry, I'm not reading chat as much as I could. I'm interested in the fact that Tizago's winning right now. All right. She's on the down stack, and she's winning 3-0 right now. In the U versus X rank, the U is winning. A little bit of plonking there from Macintosh as Tizago is DPCing. Not the most efficient use of your pieces in time, but that's okay. All right, so Tizago's greeted with the -10 on the board as she does have to break. There's those T-spins and there's this whatever in the center of the board. Yeah, the I-spin. I don't think you're gonna live that one. Okay, Macintosh finds the kill. I thought Tizago misdropped that opener. All right, Macintosh setting off this STSD here. Always bold to see openers with an STSD at the bottom of the board when there's a 1 in 10 chance that that just straight up does not work. Tizago on the down stack. Macintosh going slow on that all spin there. Breaks, but is greeted with a messy-ish board. Tizago continuing to stride through this right now. Oh, that misdrop is fatal. Tsuzaga finds the 4th point. More TD opener versus some all spins. Macintosh breaking early, kind of going into this LST. Tsuzaga, what are you doing? That doesn't work. Macintosh finds the point. PCO stack versus more C-spin action. And the 23 spike catches Macintosh off guard there, enough to find Tsuzaga another point. Extended SDPC spin here. Tuzaga's ripping that at 3.7 PPS. And Macintosh is just sending back this garbage that's coming in with a very nice well, but Macintosh clears off well access. The 16 spike there is all they can do is they try to downstack this mess of a board. Tsuzaga also now has to downstack a mess of a board, and she's definitely not doing herself any favors. Another point for Macintosh. Ooh, Tsuzaga misdrops. Sets up this cut copy instead, which is nice. Gets the all spins going for it. That's a little greedy, but it works out. Macintosh here getting that back-to-back going as well. Some nice all spins. Breaks up at the top. Doesn't have well access for a second, but lives. Ooh, nice little combo downstack there is going to make Tuzaga's garbage even messier than it was. Macintosh has the clean well, has the out for now, as the board state definitely does favor them. Tsuzaga combo downstacking this here definitely does not want to let Macintosh get too much back-to-back going.
What? Where did you find that? Where did you get that? Who? What?
Zuko's staring at me because I'm loud. It's okay, bud. It's fine. If you saw what happened, you would have yelled like that too. All right. This round starting off. Macintosh's board is not ideal. I can say that. Tuzaga's board I would also argue is slightly not ideal, but she's making it work. Yeah, dude, that T-spin triple might just kill her. Oh, no, she's fine. She's staying alive. There's the pieces. Not quite enough of them. Tsuzaga almost got out of that. Almost. Another C-spin opener here. Yeah, when Tsuzaga gets that center well garbage on that C-spin opener, she's very good at finding the spike out of it. And that is terrifying. Because what do you do against that? You just all spin it out and you try to send singles. But that's exactly what you do. But it doesn't even matter because Tsuzaga's already cheesed herself. Alright, she gets things going yet again. And Macintosh has not had the opportunity to build up back-to-back here, so they don't exactly have the advantage that they were possibly looking for. And that board state's not great. There's the downstack. Tsuzaga has an interesting board. She's working with it. That well is covered. And that, yeah, not quite fast enough. TKI. A bold move. A little bit of plonking. Tsuzaga turning this into a center 4-wide is not something I had on my bingo card, but she makes it work. T-spins to get out of this. S-piece dependent, but doesn't get the S-piece. And Macintosh has a less than ideal board situation, but sets off the fractal there. Yeah, that's still not looking great. Yeah, okay. Did not quite get to that L piece in time. Maybe just thought a little bit too much about their board situation and their upcoming pieces. So the round goes to Zago. So we see both players opening with that PCO stack. Macintosh is just straight up going for the PCO, which we've seen a couple times today. I'm not used to seeing that. Zago thinking a little bit here. Macintosh finding these all spins and pressuring out does not even need to break to find the point. Oh! Macintosh hit the rotate button on that T-piece one too many times and made it so that they didn't clear on the first T-spin of their STSD, which just ended the round. And now we're at a very nice scoreline, and Macintosh appears to have disconnected. Zago also misdrops, so I don't entirely know what's going to go on there. We will get our players back in here for the rest of that match. We're just gonna figure out what our starting score should be. I will let you know when I know. Do I have to type it to Zago? Tiz, it's technically your choice whether they take the point. Okay, there we go. Okay, it looks like we're going to start at 6-9. Nice. I'm typing nice at them. I typed nice and Sketch sent the live Garbo reaction. Alright. First to 5, then Lucas tops out 3 times. Or, yes, that's what we're doing. Alright, so we have some top-out stuff going on. I will say that Macintosh, aka Lucas Dragon, I forgot that mapping in my head, is not topping out as efficiently as possible. Zago did just try to do an Among Us opener in the middle of that. She did get 2 pieces down. Zago got 3 pieces down on the Among Us that time. But yeah, this is where it actually starts. Zago not quite finding the PC. Looked like she was going for DPC there. Yeah, she was. Macintosh going for a couple of I misdrops. It looks like those were maybe supposed to be L or J spins, but did not quite come to fruition there, as Zago is on match point here. Some all spins to start this out for Zago. She chooses to duck out of... Okay, I really thought she was going to break there, and she did not. Macintosh getting that back-to-back, building up, ready to go. Nice T-spin single to keep that going, and this is some really clean play, and that garbage well could not be nicer here for Macintosh. And the all spins come through. The 26 spike is so clean. Hello? And Zago can't do anything about it, but she's still at match point. So there's a lot here for Lucas to overcome as Zago starts off this extended SDPC spin. Yeah, that's the downside of extended, is that if you hesitate just a little bit, your opponent can very much kill you. So some C-spin opener versus the TKI, which is not what you want to do historically against Tizago with a C-spin. As you know, we're sitting here in like a nice little like standoff. Neither really wants to like put anything down. And if you guys have wondered, like, you know, what do high ranking matches look like? This is your answer. Oh no, oh no. The well RNG. The well RNG. Is it over? Is it over? Is it over? Tizago misrotates the TVs. Okay, you know what? I did not see that one coming. I didn't see that coming, but that was good. All right, we have a 6-3 up stack here. Tizago gets that back-to-back and breaks it. Macintosh also has that back-to-back going, and Tizago has to do the I-spin continuation to get out, and is just finds it, gets out. Things are looking okay for Tizago. She's got to stay alive, but that as piece is not what she needs. And we are on tiebreaker. Score is 10-10 right now. 10-10. It all comes down to this. And we're plonking this early on. See, at this point, I would just not. There we go. That's smart. I like that. Sending the T-spin single into the all-spin single. That's smart. Tizago's still building this up, though. And just hoping that she gets the right multiplier, and she does not. Macintosh breaks with the 17 spike. Is at the end of the line for Tizago. It looks like the answer is yes. And the DC turns into the comeback. Love that. They kept us on our toes there. Big W for that matchup. Very entertaining. And if I had to guess, I would say we're probably going to stay with this lower bracket. But I will let you know when I know. Flower Petal versus Veggie. Why was it first to 5? It's because one of the players DC'd. Yeah, it was supposed to be first to 11, but the scoreline was 6-9 when one of the players disconnected. So 11 minus 6 is 5. So they just had the player that had 6 points just top out 3 times so that the number of points left was correct. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Players disconnect. It's a common thing. Different tournament organizers have different ways of handling it. Sometimes they'll have them top out like a ton of times so that the score is correct, but it's a little bit easier for players to just do that. It makes it a little bit confusing sometimes, which is why I was trying to call out that it was like 10-10 at the end. But yeah, that's what happened. Love that Veggie comes in the room and it's like, oh, wait, is my match now? Looks like we're getting our warm-up going. TKIs. Mirror openers here. What's the opener called again? I need to like look back in the chat. Omnispin? I'm pretty sure it's Omnispin. Yeah, I'll call it Omnispin when Veggie uses it. Flower Petal definitely favored this matchup. As you can just see, the U rank versus X rank is pretty notable there. But I'm excited to see what Veggie does. Drew, pet that cat. Pet that cat. An Omnispin. We're about to see it. Hopefully. It's an opener. that Veggie has been doing throughout this, and it is a little unhinged, but in a good way. And there it goes. You ready? This is what Omni Spin is. Yep. Yep. And it keeps going. There's more. There's more, and then there's the T-spin triple. This one actually turns into a C-spin. They don't always turn into a C-spin. She doesn't even take the C-spin. And that's the opener. I find that opener very entertaining. All right. Flower Petal, on the other hand, is, you know, stacking a bit more normally. So the count of 4 comes through there. And the back-to-back continues back-to-backing. The all spins come out. Flower Petal breaks in the 15 spike, and Veggie has the T piece and the T spin, but no I piece for the survival. Looked like total gibberish of a stack. Yeah, it really does look like it's a mistake until you watch someone do it 5 times in a row. You ready? There it goes. All right. Flower Petal with the color clear here on the way down. Looking for that count of 4 right there. Breaks that back to back though to try to get down through Veggie's garbage. There's that T-spin into quad setup from Flower that is going to give a pretty good spike. Send Veggie up to the top. There's that back to back. Veggie does not have the pieces to get out. Sadly, if that J was an L, she would have been fine. But instead, she takes the L, and the point goes to Flower. PCO stack from Flower. Veggie with the Omni spin. Veggie just keeping, or sorry, Flower Petal just keeping a clean 3 or 6-3 stack right now. Veggie sending out those all spins, breaking up at the top here, and Flower Petal sees that break and realizes that that is her opening to attack and find the point. TKI coming out from Veggie this time. Flower Petal getting this well access and keeping that back to back. The 6-3 upstack continuing here for Flower as she's pressuring Veggie, who does not have well access. Omni spin again as Flower is just going to LST this. I mean, the LST is a really good answer here, especially when Veggie's been being a little bit slow with the opener. Veggie gets it off though, and Flower Petal continues to build up the back-to-back off of this LST. You decided now is the time to refill the cat feeder? It's fine, go for it. They'll just have to hear it. All right. Some more spins here from Flower Petal on the way down on the board. And yeah, those misdrops there from Flower are not good. And one final misdrop seals her fate as Veggie finds her first point. Omni spin comes out. Oh, interesting. I don't think I've noticed that J spin in there before, but Veggie breaks and Flower Petal has been building up that back-to-back. The all spins come out. Flower Petal breaks, Veggie's at the top, has the eyepiece to get out, but that next well is covered. It's not looking good. And Veggie finds the pieces in time. Flower Petal trying to find the kill, but Veggie gets that eyepiece. And the follow-up there from Flower Petal does find the point. Flower Petal looking to bring this into a 4-5 stack. Keep that center well going and that efficiency going as Veggie's upstack is the end of her on that. LST from Flower Petal. Veggie gets rid of the opener and is on the down stack instead, which is a good idea, but that board from Flower does not look good. Combo down stack messes up Veggie's board a little bit. That garbage not looking clean there. Veggie with the combo down stack and Flower Petal with a clean well over here on the side. This 9-0 stack looking good for her. As she does find the efficiency, does find the attack with it. Veggie's staying alive though. Now Veggie's the one with the clean garbage on her side. Flower Petal breaks. Small combo down stack with the 12 right there. Flower Petal skimming here and Veggie breaks. Nice combo down stack there from Flower Petal. Sends that 13, but it sends it very clean on Veggie's board. And let's see what Veggie does with this here. Couple of quads and a T-spin does find the point there. So Veggie doing a great job of using Flower Petal's garbage against her in that situation. TKI into LST from Flower Petal. Veggie Omni spinning for her life. Breaks out of it as Flower Petal is continuing this LST, and this needs to be broken here from Flower Petal to stay alive. Flower Petal with the well cover not looking great. Gets out of it for now, but Veggie looking to continue to pressure. Veggie counting to 4 here to keep that well looking good. Does cover it right after though. Maybe didn't see the STMB cave right there, but chooses to just down stack as Flower gets that nice J spin, or sorry, L spin. Oh, and it, okay, a little bit of misread there from Flower, but it works out. Flower Petal with this 1-8 while looking nice in the 2 eyepieces right there. Trying to figure out what she's going to do with this. She just goes for this combo right here into this T-spin. A little bit slow on the attack, but it does send some cheese to Veggie's side. Flower Petal looking to build back up that back-to-back, and there it is. Veggie up at the top, and those 2 eyepieces are right there in the queue, but she doesn't get to them in time. LST versus Omni spin here in this early game, and Flower Petal does misdrop. That's a nice fix to the misdrop here. And an all spin to follow it up. Flower Petal building up that back-to-back, sending the pressure over to Veggie's side. Veggie ends up at the top here, and she sees that -8 at the top of the board. Sends that cheese over to Flower Petal's side. Nice little dono over the well, as Flower Petal's continuing to build up this back-to-back, and is going to break right now. Has the T-spin ready to go, but does not even need it to get the point. PCO stack. Oh, just straight PCO. Okay. That's going to give Veggie a little bit more room to do this Omni spin with its follow-ups here. Yeah, there comes another TST. Another TST right there. Kind of, that opener chains a lot of TSTs together. It's very interesting. Veggie looks to be out of that opener there. Another player having that back-to-back right now. Flower thinking about what she's going to do here. Goes for that quad. 2 eyepiece dependencies not looking great for her right now. And that misdrop does not help. Omni spin versus LST. Veggie finding that back-to-back first. Both players building that up right now. Flower Petal kind of L piece dependent, finds the L piece, but is at the top of the board, has a couple of the pieces to get out. Ooh, that O piece getting in the way of Flower Petal's down stack there gives Veggie the point. Alright, opener's getting set off here as Flower Petal's going for this 5-4 up stack. Finds that back to back. The T-spin mini to open up the well there looks really nice, and we well transfer into this 9-0. Really nice break there from Veggie. Almost caught Flower off guard. Flower breaks as well. Veggie staying alive up at the top right now, and that is a bold dono. It works out though. And pressures Flower here, who's on that down stack. Veggie finds and breaks that back to back. Flower not having back to back of her own either to pressure with. Flower Petal with a 17 spike is a really nice find. Veggie doesn't have much she can do with that board. Flower Petal bringing us close to match point. Ooh, misdrop on the TKI right there is going to slow Flower down. Give Veggie a bit more time to set off this Omni spin. Set off these TSTs. And there's that -8 that comes from this opener. But the combo there from Flower sends the 21 spike and forces Veggie to break. Very little of it finds its way to Flower's board. Almost all used for cancel. Veggie all spinning to get that back. And finds the burst speed to stay alive. But Flower has the back-to-back. She knows that she can pressure with it right here. Veggie getting down, setting up her board. Flower breaks with some pretty messy garbage. All right, let's see who's going to find the spike here. Flower Petal with some really nice stacking. Definitely looking like she's going to be the one to throw the first punch, and there it goes. And that back-to-back is continuing to build up right here. This is fast, and this is clean from Flower. Flower still has that well covered. Breaks that back-to-back. Gets into that well, sends more pressure, but Veggie staying alive right here. This round's getting long, and both players know it. Veggie with that misdrop up at the top. That might be her demise right now. And Flower breaks. Veggie has some survival, but not enough, and that is match point for Flower. TKI into LST. Nice stacking here from Flower Petal, except for that misdrop over on the side. That'll be fixable though with a couple of different pieces. Flower thinking about how she's going to get out of this as that -9 appears on the board from Veggie's stacking. Veggie with a nice count to 4 to get into that next well. Flower Petal looking to close this out. Veggie's up at the top. There's the eyepiece to get out. There's the down stack. There's the pieces. There's the well. Veggie gets out, and Flower's building up the back-to-back. She knows that's what she needs to do here. A little bit of hesitation to think about how she's going to stack this right now. There's the T-spin mini keeping things going here. The -10 sitting on Veggie's board. She knows she's going to have to prepare herself for this and does not prepare herself in time. And that is going to be Flower Petal advancing on in that loser's bracket. And it appears that we are staying on board with that, or no. Are we jumping up to winner's side? I don't know. I do not know. Oh, we're doing winner's side. Okay. FE versus PC up. Sorry, I'm asking for dinner. Okay, so we have our 1 seed versus our 2 seed over here in our winners finals. Now I've got to message Drew. Can you get me pasta, please? Because he just made dinner behind me and I want it. I can smell it. I want it. All right. 1 seed versus 2 seed. Effie does have a pretty significant edge in the APM, PPS, and versus department, but we cannot count out PCO here. Can you put the Alfredo sauce on it too, please? Can you put Alfredo sauce on it too, please, on the fridge? Thank you. Okay. We're ready for our winners finals. Well, not quite because the players aren't in here, but now one of them is, so that's nice. Actually, wait, they're both in here. They're both in here. Okay, looks like we're gonna do warm-up. Let's make sure PCO is not AFK first. Keep forgetting predictions. It's tough. There's a lot of them. They go fast. Hard to remember. Yeah, it's true that not everybody bets in every single one, but it's nice to have the option if you want to gamble with your points. Like, I could put down 40,000 points on someone right now. It'd be funny. It'd be funny. Looks like both players are here. You would bet if you were allowed to. Are you just like, is that like a rule that you guys have? Because Twitch will let you. They will let you click the button. All right. We're off. In our warm-up. All spins machine versus LST machine. Gambling is banned in your country. Oh my goodness. I kind of forgot that that was a thing. Honestly, W Philippines. That sucks. Gambling sucks. Sports betting is a plague. And I get reminded of it every Sunday. Anyways. Players are exchanging their GLHF. And it's time to go. Winners finals. All spins machine versus SDPC spin to start us off. Thank you for the pasta, Drew. PCO up at the top of the board on the down stack. There's the 27 spike, but the -8 is looming up at the top of the board as Effie is continuing to all spin. There's the 21 spike, but PCO stays alive. Not just stays alive, but gets that back-to-back going. They do break here. Okay, interesting set of... Okay, love it there from PCO. Very nice, very clean, very fun. And we've got... we have an STSD into a side 2 wide there. Effie is just spamming out this attack at 4 PPS. Holding 4 PPS here is insane, but this 3-6 upstack is strong. That minus, or that times, the -10, the -11 is appearing up at the top of the board. Effie with this fractal is just popping off right now. The 30 spike there. Is this even livable for PCO? If that Z piece and that I piece were switched in Q, that would have been livable, but they were not. And so it's Effie's point. We are here. Some LST action on both sides. Effie's is significantly faster, and that OP Smith drop is not going to help them out. I'm honestly amazed that they lived that long. Tied at 1. SDPC spins, or not quite SDPC spins on both sides. I thought it was going to be. There's the minus 13 on the board as PCO is all spinning this out here. The Z spin comes through and the well is open. Not for long though. Effie takes advantage of that closed well. All spins going on for PCO here. Whereas Effie's just building up this fast 5-4 upstack. Using that garbage nicely with that donation. PCO with a 25 spike is going to pressure Effie, who breaks and subsequently dies. Tied at 2. Again, Effie going for those T-spins. PCO looking more towards those all-spins. Effie definitely looking at speed here over efficiency, which is ironic given the username, but PCO has some messy garbage to deal with from Effie's side. Both players get that back-to-back going. Effie up at the top with some messy garbage to get down through, and there's the combo down stack to get this going, and the multiplier comes through for Effie. The PCO is building up that back-to-back. There's that 9, there's that 10. The minus 10 comes onto Effie's board, but they combo down stack this with the 29 spike, and can PCO even break? PCO can break, but yeah, not much else they can do afterwards. A little bit of stick spin to open again and some floating T-spins. Is that like almost looks like mech, but it's not. What was that? And PCO survives it for now, but oh lord. Okay, that was interesting. That was, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that before. That was impressive. The PC comes through from Effie, who is... I wondered if they were looking for another, but just going for the up stack instead. PCO getting pushed up to the top. All spins on the way down, but the blows get thrown back and forth of these back-to-back spikes being broken. And Effie getting a sizable lead here in this early game. Effie misdrops that. And then misdrops again, which is unfortunate. Ooh, and another misdrop. But those misdrops and those fixes are leaving PCO's board less than ideal. PCO breaks with the 15 spike. That's not even going to force Effie to break, though they do have some pretty messy garbage on the board. Some nice all spins to keep this going. Ooh, I like that one. A little bit of like mech heart shape right now, and PCO does get spiked, but they do have the board state to get out. Effie is trying to kill with the follow-up, but PCO just being able to cleanly downstack that keeps them alive for now. Effie's in this 2-7 upstack on top of the board. PCO has this all spin set up. Oh. I mean, it works. There's survival right there. There's the T-spin. Wow, that's impressive. That was a very nice find there from PCO. Effie continuing to pressure here. Both players with that back-to-back going. PCO getting into that well with the T-spin set up too. And oh, the I-spin quad is so clean. But you know what else is clean? That 32 spike there from Effie, but PCO here. Are you turning that? Okay, I thought they were turning that into a King Crimson. I was gonna say you're not allowed to do that. I would have I would have sent you to jail for that. But you know what is criminal is that 35 spike. PCO can't do anything about it. Effie with the eye spin there. A little bit of struggling, but that's fine. PCO with the all spins. Effie with some self cheese. And a minus 11 on the board is not really where you want to be. PCO, speaking of self-induced problems, they're going to have to eye spin their way out of this. Yeah, there's the pieces to get them out of this right now, but Effie is upstacking this quickly yet again. The fast 4 or 5 upstack in the middle of the board is helping Effie get this back-to-back going, but they do have to break. PCO thinking about what they want to do with this right now. The I spin comes through, the overhangless S spin triple comes through, but this isn't looking good as Effie finds the kill. SDPC versus SDPC spin right here. It looks like Effie was trying to find the DPC follow-up, but a little bit of misdrops caused that to not quite work out for them. Well was covered the sec for Effie, but they get that going yet again. And PCO has that well covered, gets out of it with that mini T-spin single. Oh, the fractal at the top of the board is so bold there from Effie, who sends the 26 spike over to PCO's side, and they cannot do anything about that. All right, both players getting that early back-to-back. Effie breaks it. PCO continues with it here, and it's not looking good for them as they're up at the top. They have a couple of T-spins set up, but the T-pieces are there, and Effie's board is not looking clean. The T-spin triple at the top is diabolical, if you ask me. And then the efficiency setup at the top is so clean there from Effie. It knows exactly what they can get away with right now, and boy, are they getting away with a lot. The -9 appears on PCO's board. And that continues to build up as Effie is just spamming out these T-spins and these all-spins. The 22 spike comes through and forces PCO to break. And efficiency, Effie, I read your username from the Twitch chat as well, is building this back up, getting that back-to-back going yet again. Push up to the top, has to break. The 21 spike is here, but PCO is building up that back-to-back. That board is not looking pretty, though. That is not what you want to see. That is almost secret grade on that board right there. These are some great fixes, though. Some really nice finds to keep this going, and it looks like PCO is going to have to break, which they do. Now they're on the down stack. Effie looking for the I-spin quad, and it is not there. PCO gets the point. PCO starting off with that opener. We've seen them using a lot tonight. And the break comes through from PCO, who has that giant 1-8 garbage well, or 8-1 garbage well on the bottom of that board that they're going to have to deal with. Effie has this back-to-back going, this 14, and can they even... Oh, no! No! The miss drop at the top of the board. Some nice all spins come out. Both players building up that back-to-back. PCO breaks first and is greeted with that -10 up the top of the board. Effie breaks as well. And the follow-up from that break does find the point. Both players opening similarly to how we've seen them before, but Effie does misdrop. Find some all-spins on the way down, and that's going to leave PCO's board looking really rough. Really, really rough right there. That's not the board you want right now, but some of the pieces are there. Not enough. Effie brings us to match point in our winners finals. RCPC spin. PCO hesitating a little bit with that all spin right there. A very nice way to find their way into that next well. Oh, the 36 spike comes through, and that is the point. Insane spike there from PCO. Though they have a lot of ways to go if they want to bring this back. We're off again. Effie finds that PC. PCO sets off the C-spin. Effie with the color clear. Very pretty. Spin triple from PCO. Teeth that going is so nice. But Effie is just using the speed advantage right now. That misdrop, though, is going to force them to break. And the break doesn't have great follow-up, which means PCO gets the chance to tank and send. And the tank and send works. The tank and send works insanely well. Some all spins and some STSDs to start us off. The I spin triple is so cool, and the 37 spike that follows up from it is great, but Effie stays alive and PCO misdrops that L piece for the PC. Very sad way to end it. But Effie continues on to grand finals, and we are going to see PCO in losers finals here. But before we play our losers finals, we do have to play our losers semifinals. And I am going to get up very quickly to refill my water. I'm out of water. I need that, and I'm getting it. Hi, Zippo. Okay, I'm back. That's your reminder to stay hydrated, folks. Sorry that you were waiting for me. I knew I needed water. Okay. We're good. And it looks like we are not doing a warm-up here, so we will go straight into this. Okay, cool. We're going. Okay, Lucas versus Flower Petal. So Lucas did type GLHF, so I know that they're not AFK. PC comes through from Flower. Lucas is the one building up that back-to-back, though. And that -8 appears on Flower's board. She starts down second since she keeps that well access. She's ready for the break, and there it goes. But that's some messy garbage from Flower Petal. Lucas gets that back-to-back going, a little bit greedy in the process of it right now. Yeah, that is not what I would recommend doing in that situation, but it works out. Lucas gets that back-to-back going yet again. Breaks early. That's going to leave a little bit of cheese on Flower's board. Flower's getting through this. Taking her time to think about what she wants to do there. And Lucas has some wells and some really nice access to them. And there's a nice count of 4 if that's what they choose. Not quite. They're going for just a nice little 17 spike right there, which gives them a nice balanced well after that. And Flower has this 1-8 situation. And then has 1-8 situation on the other side, so less than ideal. And that's going to give Lucas the opportunity to build up that back-to-back. Some all spins on the side, keep that going. I really like that setup there from Lucas. It does appear that that J-Fuse was a misdrop, but there are some really nice fixes for that. Yeah, there we go. That's the one I was thinking of. Yep, there we go. And there are the dings from that, but Flower Petal tanks all of it. She was ready. She had her board ready to go, and she sends it back to find that first point. MKO versus PCO. Ooh, 1 piece off from the P2 there. From Lucas. Very sad. Lucas is the one who has the back-to-back advantage right now. All spinning to keep that going. And there's a break with the follow-up spike that pushes Flower up to the top. She's not out of it yet, but she doesn't really have the pieces she needs. Really nice find when the color clear in the middle of that. Very pretty. Very pretty. Lucas up at the top, going for these all spins, not slowing down. Continuing with this advantage on back-to-back, but Flower's keeping her board clean, keeping it ready for the inevitable spike coming in from Lucas, who has a couple of T-spins set up. And there is that break, and Flower's ready and has both of the eyepieces right there. So well done. Well played. Lucas just going for the smaller break right there. And this round is starting to get on the longer side here. The 21 spike is a really nice find there from Lucas, but the down stack from Flower keeps her alive. The eye spin from Lucas there. Very nice. Okay, Flower finds the kill there. Lucas up at the top for a bit, and that was very back and forth. This might turn into a stamina battle at this point. That's kind of what it's trending towards right now. But we'll see how this goes. Ooh, the misdrops there from Lucas. Definitely gonna slow them down. Flower gets that back-to-back and breaks it. Leaves a little bit of messy garbage on Lucas's board. But Lucas with the all spins ready to go is starting this down stack off strong. Flower has to break, and she has some all spins on her way out. And finds the kill. Yeah, Lucas got caught up at the top with just the wrong pieces there. And that is exactly what Flower needed. LST. Nice wall transfer there from Flower to keep this going. And pressure. Very nice pressure here from Flower. She was considering the Kaidon there, the mid-stack Kaidon. Chose against it. Lucas has the pieces he needs, but the misdrop on the J piece is going to give Flower the point. PCO from Flower. Flower kind of on the defensive right here, just kind of down stacking this. It's worked out for her so far. It makes sense that she would continue with it. Because look at that messy board there. It forces Lucas to break. And then Flower just sends more cheese. It's nice. It's working out well for her. But Lucas has the all spins, gets the well access. Flower's building up the back-to-back. The count of 4 comes through, and there's the break. As Lucas has, ooh, almost has the pieces. Again, just like one piece off in queue. Lucas opening with some all spins right there, and that definitely caught Flower off guard, who's up at the top early on here. She finds the down stack spike though. Lucas has that well access, that really clean well that they're gonna get into right now. Lucas breaks in the 14 spike. That combo down stack doesn't really find its way to Flower's board. Just one line of cheese right there, and she is going to just clear it. Ooh, Lucas with the misdrop on that T piece is not going to give them the T spin they were looking for, and is going to cause them to accept a little bit of messy garbage. They downstack through it, get the nice little multiplier going on it, and have this really nice 6-3 stack. Flower, though, she has some clean wells ahead of her. She's thinking about how to all spin this right now. She just decides to downstack this. Lucas is in that 9-0, just going with some donations there, switches it over, and that's a really nice recovery on that misdrop. And it looks like Lucas is going to have to break here. He does. And there's a little bit of cheese on their board, but they're getting down through it. These are some very long rounds. This is quite the stamina match right there. It's very back and forth. A lot of this is just like very defensive focused. Both players not really getting too big of back-to-back spikes, so it's just kind of like them kind of waiting for their opportunity. It's tough to really say too much about this because of how timing dependent this stuff is. Speaking of timing, Flower stays alive. There's the down stack. There's the recovery. Lucas gets that back-to-back going yet again. And there's the break. It's just back and forth. We're 2 minutes into it, and that's a misdrop from Flower. There we go. There's the point. There's the misdrop. There's the opening, and there's the point. TKI. Both players getting those all spins or those T spins going. Not really any all spins so far. And that's a misdrop there from Lucas. They break with a 12 spike. Flower Petal color clears. Sends that pressure. It looks like Flower misdropped. And so if Lucas knows this and sends at the right time, this could be bad for Flower, but she finds the pieces and there's the eye to get out. She goes for the T-spin instead. I like that. Lucas sends, but okay. I was wondering if it was too late, but it was right on time there as it does find them the point. Misdrop from Lucas early on. It's going to give Flower the chance to upstack here. She goes for this 5-4 up stack, sets up a fractal right here, brings this into a 9-0, and well transfers this really nicely. Flower breaks, wishes the eyepiece were sooner in queue. Oh, and the misdrops from Flower give another quick point to Lucas. Sorry, chat. I'm distracting Flower Petal. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. Flower Petal with that first back-to-back. And the spike comes through from Flower. Lucas ends up at the top, covers the well, but a really nice find to uncover it. Stays alive. Flower Petal does not find anything from the opening she created there because of the great survival from Lucas, who has some misdrops afterwards. Spoke too soon. Flower Petal's point. Couple of misdrops there from Lucas up at the top, trying to burst speed out of this here, and ooh, just not quite getting that J spin. Spamming your DMs and Lucas types, please do it more. Love that. Flower has the back-to-back. The -9 appears on Lucas's board as Flower has access to this well. Very clean 9-0 stacking right now. Flower breaks with the small spike. Lucas breaks in response. And Flower cancels all of it and sends just a little bit over. And there's another break. Follow-up isn't quite there. If Flower was waiting to send that because of the combo from Lucas, that was very smart. I liked that a lot. And the all-spin follow-up is nice, but that misdrop over the well is not very nice. And there's the out. Very nice fix. Insanely good fix right there. Very nice find. Lucas with some all-spins on the side here to get that back-to-back going. Really, really nice all-spins right now. The T-spin to put the -8 on Flower's board, but Flower is ready for this. The -9 is, her board is clean. She's ready to accept what's coming in here and even has the time to think a little bit. Thinking about this T-spin up at the top, definitely needs to get down right now, but Lucas doesn't have a lot of material left to send. Down at the bottom of the board, it doesn't look like the kill is going to come through right now. Both players are probably just going to go back to building up that back-to-back, except the spike comes through. Flower Petal does cancel it here. And there's the all-spin into the all-clear! The mid-game PC there from Lucas. But Flower finds the well. There's that -10, but this is looking clean. She's ready for this break. There it comes. And she lives it. She has that back-to-back going, but that board is not clean. That garbage is not nice right now. And this round is ticking up in length. Stamina may be becoming an issue right now for Flower Petal with these misdrops. And I feel like I see Lucas slowing down as well. There's that gravity margin coming in, and there's a 26 spike from Flower. That is so clean. And there's the burst speed to follow that up. She's trying to find the kill, but she doesn't. Lucas stays alive right here. 2 eyepieces, clean well. That is death. TKIs on both sides. Both players find that back-to-back. Flower breaks it. Lucas continues building it up with these all spins right now. Flower sending a little bit of cheese. There's the clean well. Combo from Flower. All spins. Lucas building up the back-to-back, though. -10 on Flower Petal's board as that well is covered. This is a good time for Lucas to break, but they don't notice it. Maybe they'll notice now. Is that cheese? There's so much cheese on that board. Oh, no. Okay, okay. Oh, the find. The find is so cool. The find is so cool to stay alive there from Flower. Counting to 4 on the way down, misdropping. Getting away with it. Lucas has a well open and oh, does not expect the quick 15 spike from Flower. Openers come out. Flower misdropping. And that's going to give Lucas the back-to-back advantage. Flower with the down stack there is not even going to phase Lucas, who does not even have to break. That -8 is popping on and off the board here for Flower, who counts to 4, gets things ready, gets back-to-back, breaks it to fix that board. A lot of skimming down right now, a lot of defensive stacking. And that looks like a misdrop on Flower's side, but she's going to be fine for now. All spins, but she's up at the top, and if I was gonna say if Lucas breaks, that is the point, but they do not even need to break. All spins coming out. Lucas getting that first back-to-back, plonking this T-spin here. Not really accepting much. A little bit of a mech heart shape at the bottom. Some really, really clever all spins right here from Lucas. Is sending some messy garbage over on a Flower's side. These all spins are so clean, and there's the ding from that 20 back-to-back. The break with the 34 spike. Oh no, the S misdrop. No, the S misdrop. And then she had the J piece. The survival was there, but the misdrop. Lucas breaks. Has some messy cheese on the board. Ooh, misdrops from Lucas right here. They're going to slow them down just a bit. Flower sending that messy garbage. Has some clean wells. Lucas looking for this dono that comes through. That's nice. The O piece to fix the stack here. Flower Petal getting that back to back. There's the floating T-spins, and the miss rotate on the float is so sad. The T-spin is still there. It's ready to go. That well is just waiting for its use. And Lucas desyncs and misdrops. Okay. Nice little STSD over the well here to find that back-to-back. The quad donation from Lucas is nice. All spins keeping this very clean, but that garbage is not clean. That -10 is looming on Flower's board. And there's the break. She handles it well, though. She's got the pieces. Lucas has the defense for that counter spike there. Has the all spins too. Flower ends up at the bottom of the board. Starts to accept. Lucas breaks, and that comes in as pure cheese. Lucas with the clean wells right now and the clean overhangless S-spin triple. Some great count to 4 here from Lucas as that back-to-back advantage just keeps ticking up. The S and the Z spins come out, some more S and Z spins, and that misdrop on the J. He couldn't even access the well. And this is match point for Flower. Oh, that was such a great sequence to build up that back-to-back, but that misdrop, when you can't rip it, oh, that's so sad. So sad. Plonking here from Lucas. Oh, is this game? Did Flower Petal find it? Oh, there was just like a little bit of awkwardness up at the top of the board there. And Flower finds the win. And we'll move on to our losers finals. All right. All right. Just figuring things out here. Very, very nice upset there. And here's our bracket. Yeah, you see PCO versus Flower Petal down in our losers finals. All right, it looks like we may do a little commentary swap here. But this is our next matchup. I can talk about it for a bit. All right, Flower versus PCO. Flower did upset in that last match, which very exciting, very cool. But an even greater challenge stands ahead of her with this next match versus PCO. You can see a pretty significant gap in stats. But I will not be Benson, can you do homework while commenting? Dude, I like sew and stuff while I'm commentating, but I'm gonna hand this over to you. Have fun. Adios.
I mean, hi. What do we have here? Screen share is fine. I banter these guys enough. I don't need to be in the room. Yo, Flower Petal top 3. Nepotism, let's go. Let me get stream open. Who's in chat? Alright, for all 16 of you, I will provide chill commentary for this incredibly intense match. For real. But once Wiley comes back, surely he takes over. Probably expecting a masterclass here from PCO. Very solid player. And Flower Petal is gonna struggle very hard to keep up. Ready double-digit surge. Is just going for the kill and we'll get it. It just makes it look so easy. Ooh, misdrop from Flower. PCO has been labbing some pretty crazy spin single openers. And with an immediate advantage, minus that cheese, but he can deal with that. Flower is struggling to do much in general. Pushed up, and PCO just has more damage. Oh my goodness, what is this? Down stack. Flower is so stuck. PCO just has more and more. He just has to send. Ooh, Flower gets to the eyepiece. No, yes, yes, yes. Go down, never mind. A little too slow at the down stack. Doing LST against the top player is a very bad idea, but PCO is just gonna chill and do it right back. 3.3 PPS, honestly, like, that's not very fast pace. He's barely moving his fingers here. Effortless win, honestly. Just a massive stat check all around for Flower. So she's going to have to turn up something to deal with this. PCO is just practicing all spins, I don't know. He's having the time of his life. No, oh my, no, you missed down stack. I wish everyone down stacks like Tiki. Flower Petal's trying to off-spin. Never mind. Gotta use them previews. This is not looking good. And PCO doesn't even screen watch, is just going to try and build more back-to-back. Misses the kill as a result. Flower does have some bit of a chance here if PCO isn't careful. But Flower will not find a spike. And surely PCO just downstacks here, but PCO misses downstack. Oh well. Yeah, I would not have done that, but it'll be fine. Still in a way better position than Flower. We get an ice spin. We get very experimental stacking. Yeah, very chill match so far. Maybe not for Flower, who's fighting for her life here, but unfortunately, PCO is just completely outclassing her in every aspect. So the question remains, is Flower going to deny this sweep? Do we get the broom today? No, misdrop. Flower, no. Okay, PCO's not doing much better, but surely this is the sweep denied, right? Flower, please just send. PCO is out. The sweep may continue. This is very survivable, yeah. PCO finds... Oh no, that is greedy. Alright, bro. Yeah, PCO's just having way too much fun here. And Flower Petal not able to find the kill is staring down another massive back-to-back deficit. Not looking hot. PCO misses a spin. It seems pretty inconsequent. Never mind. PCO misses a down stack. Now it's looking a little dangerous. Now Flower can deny the sweep. Never mind. Very nice fix from PCO there. Insane greed from PCO. They're just completely dominant, honestly. Like, he does not care whatever Flower is doing. He knows he can survive it. This is feeling like me versus promo, just like 10 times slower. Why would you not? Okay. PCO misses an spin, but again, doesn't really matter. He's probably just preserving energy for the final. And versus a player like Effie, you probably have to. Because that's very tiring to play against. Wait. Oh! 10 more, 10 more, 10 more. You got this. Let's go, Flower. 10 more, 10 more. Get 10 more. And that's a familiar number, because that's what Flower Petal will be contributing to next week's prize pool if she wins this. Immediate misdrops. PCO looking so fine. Wiley would agree. Oh my Osmonds. Oh, that's bad. 10 million triples to deal with here. He's going to struggle to keep this back-to-back because of that. And he doesn't. So there's a couple downstack options. That's one of them. Obviously not the best one, but it's a satisfactory one. Oh, misses Osman again. PCO, what are you doing? Why are you not playing like remote spot? What is bro doing? Where's my 1.5 APP flawless gameplay? Flower going 3 PPS now. Channeling her inner Westo. Just like 2 PPS slower. Oh dear. I don't know about this down stack. Oh dear. Looking a little Joe over here for Flower. I can't believe PCO would do this. He's denying $10 from the next victor. Actually, no, just $5, but... $5 is a lot. $5 can buy Blessing of the Woken Moon, not hashtag not sponsored. That is going to be match point. So Flower now needs 10 straight games, which surely she will not. Bye-bye. Sketchy is sleepy. She should not have asked a grad student writing homework to commentate, because I will help with that. Okay, we get our X Plus matchup. Honestly, very similar stats from them. PCO stats are fake. So, Effie's just going to strike this out. While PCO might try to go for some timing. I think this should be kind of close, but Effie's been showing pretty good form. So, kind of favoring Effie here, but PCO can put up a good fight. Just that stat deficit is so difficult to deal with, but with the power of the Vatican behind him, and if Wiley comes back to support Australia, PCO might have a bit of a chance. So we will start once they both get in the room. Apparently Effie is missing. I'm going to hop on and... Did I add this guy? We can yoink him. I didn't add this guy. I'm trolling. I'm at the friend cap. Imagine having supporter. Couldn't beat me. This is tragic. Yo. Co-commentator?
Pardon me, yeah, I'm a college student, so I'm gonna try to commentate.
Do I hear Chinese behind you?
uh,
I hear something behind you. I can't tell what that is. All good. We will fix our technical difficulties. Hooray, Effie is here. Let's go. So fast in game, so slow at joining rooms. SMH. You have to have a balanced skill set. What is this?
Here we go. Is it working fine?
Yeah. Got that noise cancelling
There we go.
now.
Time to... yeah, pardon me for the weird background noise.
It's time for you to do some play-by-play.
Oh yeah.
You have to analyze every single piece.
Oh god, I don't have the tab open for that. Okay. Oh well.
You know how to rap.
So-
I trust.
Yeah, starting up.
You like that O-piece placement?
And
And that
guess
T-piece
it's
placement?
fine.
There was also a J-piece placement. And a few more. Anyways.
Yeah, off there for the quad, we'll cancel that damage incoming from Effie, although Effie will try to find some damage back over to PCO. Both players are building up their advantage very nicely so far in this first round.
PCO's being a little too
PCO is trying to,
experimental
well,
here.
taking a lot of time just trying to get that LP spin. So yeah, very good punch there.
He just wants to have fun.
Yeah.
He's messing around a little. If he actually locks in though, he does have a chance to win this whole thing.
Yeah,
But I
if
guess he
locks
wants more
in.
than $5. You gotta pay this Aussie more than that. Not worth his time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
bro.
Wasn't able to get that ice spin triple there, so well, Another match going to Effie.
Another match. Wow, this is going fast.
Yeah, I think Phil needs that sleep.
Getchi may be asleep. That is true.
God forbid we waste 30 minutes again. Oh, 25 lines.
PCO is kind of trolling these Ospins, honestly.
He was trying to still continue that advantage, but isn't going to be valuable later on.
He's just not playing well. What can I say?
Stick spin? Question mark?
That's SDPC spin, but out of order.
Never mind. They've been watching too much. Okay.
What
So
is bro
far-
doing? No, this guy's actually trolling.
Okay.
Yo,
Got nothing much
competitive
to
integrity?
add there. So something, just Tetris shenanigans. TKI into the
I think he's
LST.
out of juice, man. I think he's just here to have fun.
Yeah.
If he was counter-stratting and everything earlier.
Oh,
Okay. PCO
9.
might be like sleepy.
yeah, this is like a... I guess I should
He's-
say like a flower petal cosplay in the grand finals.
Flower, what do you have to say?
Okay, so 5-0.
We have this
so
guy's
far
ID, we can ban
against
him.
PCO. I'm getting 5 that.
That's a
Oh,
wild,
PT.
wild stray.
Never mind. Okay, Effie on the offensive.
If he's been on the offensive.
Yeah, in the meantime, PCO, well, opting for some all-spin brain rot right there.
Honestly, it's pretty clear where this is going, but
Yeah.
with the stakes, I can't blame these guys. PCO's just showing off a little with these Ospin single openers. Also, that out of order SDPC spin is pretty cool.
Very flashy play style, but won't be able to find much cancel from Effie's attacks. Finds the quad, but will not be
Misses
able to buy
down
them some
stack.
time there.
It almost looks like he's playing on a controller instead of playing on a PC.
Yeah, actually, now that I've mentioned it, yeah, it does
I don't
look
think
like
PCO's on his actual setup. This is not the PCO I know.
this is not
I am-
the PC.
I'm
Like-
pretty sure he's just on a different setup or something. Or he's really, really sleepy. Either makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think finding that dig very fast, and PCO just chilling, I guess. He's going to be
Well,
in
he's
trouble now.
dead. There's no down stack.
Yeah, wasn't able to find the dig, won't be able to get the pieces right there. Oh, as far as I can, as much as I would like to say something about this, I think the score will speak for itself.
PCO trying to score his namesake, honestly.
Yeah. Oh my god, bro. Like, he didn't have to do him like that. Okay.
Or like, I don't know how much he's trying, but I know bro can do better than this, so I
Yeah,
won't
you
take this
know.
too seriously. Effie on the other hand is
Yeah,
just doing mech.
I've seen them play before, so they're definitely they're getting there.
Effie or PCO?
Nah, I'd say a PCO victory
PCO reverse
next
sweeps?
week.
Next week. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, perhaps a chance.
In the meantime, I think the broom is here. I think the
Yeah.
broom's feasting today.
And it will be the finale for this. Whatever have I witnessed this morning?
Yeah. It's either this guy's on a controller, this guy's on someone else's laptop, or someone broke both of this guy's hands in a bar fight or something.
Yeah.
Okay, GG's.
Okay, delivers the attack. FE, GG, Strato winner.
I think it was the
What's the bonus?
spiders. I think it was the Australian spiders.
You think it's a spider?
I think the spiders got his hands.
Oh yeah. Going to be like at a very huge disadvantage after that. Oh well, GG. Thank you guys for tuning in to some very chill Tetris gameplay, or Tetrio, I should say. Are we gonna raid someone or?
I have my pick, which is
Alright.
obviously my MMC mod, Zach, but I don't think he's taking this very seriously either. He's just chilling.
Okay.
We'll see what Sketchy decides. I wonder what was up with PCO
what?
there though.
Okay. There's the questions. the post game questions.
We interview this guy for playing like 1/10 his usual
Yeah.
skill level.
Like
I'll give him the
PCO,
benefit of
like,
the doubt. I
the
think he's just
doubt, yeah.
vibing.
Maybe just give the guy a pass for like maybe this time. I mean, it's been a long day, honestly.
Probably. I think he just woke up, but like It's morning enough,
I
though.
just woke up.
you Australian?
Not really. I'm just some place nearby Australian.
Ah, there's a few of those, of course. Anyways, I guess we're raiding.
Yeah,
So-
we're ending the stream. Thank you
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye bye.
Sponsored by ivorhang.com.
Well, no.
Dang it,